Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan. If you didn't know, now you know. And as you can see, it's Mystery Nail Art Day. We're on season 3 with the Mystery Nail Art cards. These are the Nailed It nail cards from Miss Galore Nails. Link in the description for her Instagram. Contact her if you would like to purchase them. There are 2 decks at the time of me making this. There may be some in the future additionally, but these are so much fun. Whether you're just doing it for yourself, or you're doing it for clients, or you're doing it for challenge, these things are great. If you haven't watched my previous videos, I recommend that you do. Sometimes I make ugly nails, and sometimes I make really cool nails. So, we're gonna get us some cards. I am not gonna be picking a shape or a length because I have existing nails on, and I'm gonna take the decorations off, but I'm still gonna use the structure. So, let me shuffle this, and then we'll get to picking. Alright, so we'll start here with this color card. Let's see what we get. Alright, so it is shades of purple. I can work with that. I like purples. Next we have a theme. Unconventional. Okay, that is very abstract and loose. I haven't had that one yet, so that's exciting. Let's do an accent. Glow. Okay, I do have some glow-in-the-dark polishes. Some of them might even be purple. This is coming along. We don't need another accent, we don't need another color, and we don't need another theme, but treasure. This is gonna be one of the families of metal. Oh, it's not a metal family, it's a metal item. Piercing. I don't think I have any of that. I have considered purchasing some, and I have the little like metal X's that you glue on, but they don't go through. I don't even think I have a hoop of some kind. I'm gonna have to look, but I am going to dig us out another treasure card just in case I don't, so we'll have a backup plan. I will try to use the piercing one if I can find something. So backup plan will be bronze. So purple, unconventional, glow, possibly piercing, but if not, bronze. All right, let me gather supplies. Okay, so I found these. Technically they're earrings, but I'm gonna use them. And they're like blue, yellow, green, purple-y, mermaid rainbow type thing. So I'm gonna use those. And then I've got this purple glow in the dark, this purple magnetic, and these 3 purple metallics. Orly metallics, for whatever reason, are really great at fluid art. So we're gonna do some. And we're gonna use this hand so that we have the most amount of surface space. First, let's make our little fluid arts though, so they can start drying. I'm gonna get all up on it so you guys can see. I'm gonna first start by just opening the lids on these. Alright, so I'm gonna start with the lightest color, and you kinda wanna just like generously paint some on here. As you can see, it's already gonna try and start doing its thing. But we want to put a little bit of these other colors in here as well, so that we can get a little bit of something going. And then we want to kind of fold it over there and give it a little bit of a gentle squish around. All right, I like to do a little shake. I don't know if it actually helps, but I feel like it does. And that's gonna start to spread. And while that one's doing its thing, let's get our second one going, because I want to do 2 fluid art nails. They're not going to be similar because fluid art never is, but that is quite all right. There we go. I'm going to squish this one kind of this direction. Ta-da! Alright, so we will let those sit. You can see they're already starting. I'm going to set these to the side though, and then I'll come back and show you when they're dry. what we want to do now though is start getting our colors put down. So we're gonna do the fluid art on these two nails here. So I'm gonna take the lightest color and put that on those nails for a base. This is Industrial Playground from Orly. It's a little bit sheer on the first go, but that's okay because we really just needed something to be in the background. I might even leave it sheer because I kind of like the way it looks. All right, and that one too. And I'm actually gonna just go ahead and tell you which ones we were using. So this is Forward Momentum. And this one is Opposites Attract. Those were the ones we used for the fluid art. I'm gonna go ahead and get the glow in the dark started because these take a little bit of time to dry because they're kind of goopy. Glow in the dark polishes are super thick compared to normal polishes. It's a real cute color though. And then I'm gonna put it on the thumb too. Alright, and I am going to do a second coat of that one though because it doesn't look that streaky in the camera, but I feel like it's a little bit uneven, but it is going to have to dry of course. Now we're going to do this middle finger with the magnetic, and this one will probably need more than one go as well. Alright, so we've got that on there. Now we want to try and pull that magnetic out. It's kind of hard at this angle, but I think we're doing it. This is the first time I've used this magnet. I usually use my bar magnet, but I wanted to try this one. And it does seem to be working. Like, oh, there we go. I think you might have seen it. What if I do it like this? Maybe. Well, I can see it. And I know that it looks a little bit blue in the camera, but it's not. I don't know why it's like that. Yes, very pretty. Of course, the photos you see at the end, you'll be able to see what it actually looks like. Alright, so I actually decided to go in and do a second coat of everything for consistency's sake. It's looking real good, but we're gonna have to wait a while for this to dry so that we can seal it in and then start doing some art on top of it because it is getting art. So I will be back. Alright, so here's what we got for our fluid art. It's kind of hard to look at when it moves to where the light is glaring, but you can quite clearly see that it did work well. So we are going to use these. To apply them though, we're going to need to put down some sticky base coat on the two nails that we're going to apply. Alright, and so that will start drying, and while we're waiting for that to dry, let's get our arts peeled up. So I've got this tweezer that I'm going to use. I'm going to kind of just go up under the edges and move this across so that you can get it to start peeling up. Don't want to rip it if you can avoid it. Try to get as much of it as you can in the tweezer before you start peeling. Alright, so I've got one of them up. Let's see if we can get this other one up. Alright, so I've got that one up too. Let me scoot this to the side. Let's see, how do we want to do it? So I think I want to use this one on the pinky nail, but how? Maybe like this. Set it on there, try to get it where you want it, and then gently start rubbing it down to fit the contours of the nail. It's okay if it hangs over because we're going to clean all that up after. We just want to get it on there. All right, let's grab our other one. Okay, got some on there. I meant for it to be a little bit more over, but that's okay. Sometimes it's hard to get things straight on fingernails. And this one's gonna have some lines that we're gonna have to rub out, which is also fine. I'm gonna use this rubber bit to try and not mess it up too bad to work on those. I think thumb works better actually. All right, let's get those rubbed down. And then what I do is I get the cuticle cutter. I say cuticle cutter, cuticle pusher, and then just kind of go around the edges of the nail and separate that extra polish. It doesn't have to be perfect because we'll use a cleanup brush at the end. These edges, you can just kind of pull them down and they peel off. All right, yeah, that one's on there. Let's get this one kind of cut off around the cuticles. Okay, and then I like to take a cleanup brush, get it a little acetone, and just kind of gently go around these very edges. That way they melt a little bit and blend on in with the edge of your nail. And then tap underneath here as well to get those. And then of course across the end. Yep, you can push it in, make sure it's nice and sticky. That looks great so far. Can you see it? Let's do this one. Yeah, there we go. And then don't forget to tap these edges as well. We want them to blend. I think that's looking real good so far. Can you see it? I'm trying to hold it at the right height for it to not be too blurry. Yes, very good. Alright, so it's art time. We're going to do some glow-in-the-dark flowers on this nail and some magnetic flowers on this nail to tie those two together. But let's start actually with the magnetic one. I'm going to... how should I hold my hand? Like this, maybe? I guess that's as good as any way. I've got this dotting tool. So I'm going to put some of this out on a palette. And we're gonna have to magnet these flowers one at a time so that they don't mess up their friends. And I am not left-handed, so this is really hard. All right, so like there's one. Let's give him a little magnetizing. Can you see that? I can see it. Yeah, so that's cute. So that's basically what it is. I'm gonna speed through it though, since for me it's gonna be slow. Alright, let's have a little look. I actually think that's probably good. I think if we keep cramming them on there, it's going to get too crowded. And I think it's cute. Alright, so we're going to do this one. This one's going to have the glow-in-the-dark flowers. So let me get that. And this is essentially going to be the same thing. We're going to be putting our little dots on here. But these don't need to be magnetized because it's just glow in the dark. So it's okay if we go ahead and just do them all at once. We don't have to stop in between, so I'm going to speed through that. Alright, I think that's actually enough for that one as well. Of course these I am going to have to check in a dark room after I charge them up. But we got our two little flower nails. You may have deduced this only leaves us one actual thing left to do, and it's the piercings. They're gonna go on this nail. I'm gonna put two, like boop, boop. So let me make sure it is nice and dry. I hope when we start drilling it doesn't mess it up, but I wanted to do it after I painted. That way it doesn't fill in with the paint. So here's the bit that I'm going to attempt to use. It's the skinniest one I believe I own other than a ceramic one. So we're gonna just like, you're probably not gonna be able to see good. I'll probably try and do it right here so you can see, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Ah, we got one through. Pause. That went suddenly. Please, come out. Let's try and get the other one, and we'll kind of clean it up after, I think. Alright, so that one went too. Get it out of there. It's just like all or nothing with these things. Let's try and do a little dusty dust. So my holes are not the straightest, and they're a little bit textured. I'm gonna try and smooth that down a little bit. Alright, so I've improved it. I used a file to kind of buff it down a little bit, which made it, you know, kind of scratched up. So I am gonna have to add more top coat, and I'm gonna do that before we put the piercings in so that we can clean that hole out. I'm just gonna use a thin one that dries quickly. Alright, and then I'm gonna take this dotting tool and just boop in there to make sure that it's clear. Yes, because we don't want that to fog up. Alright, I'll be right back when that's dry. Okay, so it is dry enough to touch. We're gonna go ahead and get those rings put in, and then we're gonna top coat everything. So I'm gonna get a hold of it with this, hypothetically. Alright, alright. Alright, so that is in there. Now we just have to close it. Getting at it is a bit of a weird angle. Okay, got that one closed. I don't know how much of that was even in the camera, but I got it closed. Let's get this other one. Trying not to lift this up too high and then you can't see it, but also keep it in frame. Goodness gracious. Alright, so I got that one closed as well. So we've got two. It's weird for me. I don't like that I put this one this low because it swings around. I would rather if it stopped. So it's like maybe I should put one up here. But then also I'm like, what if I just did one? Would that have been better looking? But I don't know. When you hold them this way, it looks okay. It's just when it goes this way, it looks a little weird. Whatever. I probably would have actually liked them if they were smaller, but this is the smallest one I had. Let's get the rest of these guys top coated though. We are just using a cheap Sally Hansen dries instantly top coat because it goes on very thin and dries instantly, like they say, quickly. And I don't want this to be an all-day affair for the drying. I also want it to just kind of glide over our art here. And I like this one. Alright, yeah, it's looking good. Okay, I think I got that on there well. Light lines are even kind of straight. Okay, so this is what we've come up with. Let's recap. Our challenge was purple, untraditional, and I would definitely say this is untraditional nail art for sure. I have definitely never done something like this before. Glow, and we used glow in the dark, which I am going to test, and in fact I'll go ahead and start that here. I'm going to try and get you some photos as well as maybe a little video clip, but you should be looking at those now. And then also we did the fluid art, which is untraditional as well. Remember that that does work with the Orly metallics, so you don't actually have to buy special fluid art polish to do it. Those work. Now of course you can get fluid art polish if you want to use other types of nail polish for your art. That is totally fine. But let me know, what do you think? Do you think we followed the rules? Do you think these are even cute? What would you have done if you drew these cards? Let me know in the comments below. Definitely do hit the like button if you like this video. The algorithm thanks you and so do I. And check and make sure you're subscribed if you like my content. That way you're not missing it. And it helps my channel grow, which gets us one step closer to monetization, which would be great because then I can spend more money doing more fun stuff here and feed my nail polish addiction. That's it for this one though. Thank you again for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.